Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead here. Coming to you today with a project that's been in my mind for years, but I haven't had a chance to get it together until now. So what I've got behind me here are the parts that I need to make an automatic chicken door. Well, not necessarily automatic, but more like remote controlled. So I work in an industry where I'm always working with 12-volt electronics. So I love trying to find ways to reuse 12-volt electronic parts that are just going to get thrown away. So the only thing I bought brand new in this entire setup is that little electronic component right there at the top of that piece of wood. That is a wireless receiver so that I can use a remote to open and close my chicken coop door. Now some people ask, why wouldn't you put an automatic, light sensor on it, or put it in a way to where you don't even have to think about it or worry about it? Well, because honestly I like to think and worry about it. I want to make sure that I take a quick look around and make sure that there's no predators in the area before I let my chickens out in the morning. And I also, we found that sometimes our chickens don't go in until about 20 to 30 minutes after it gets dark. So that leads to chickens getting left out if it's on a light sensor or even a timer, because, as we all know, the sunrise and sunset changes throughout the year. So this gives me the capability to just look out, see what's going on, open my chicken coop remotely or close it remotely. So what we have first is the bronze of the project. This is the muscle. This is a window regulator that we pulled out of a scrapped vehicle. It's just a basic 12-volt motor that works off a two-wire opposing polarity system. So if you apply 12 volt to one wire and ground to the other, the motor winds one direction. If you flip the polarity to where the other, so you're opposing, so from 12 volt becomes negative and negative becomes 12 volt, that causes the motor to spin the opposite direction, and it goes through this gearing here, which goes to the pulley system and on this track, and that is going to cause the carrier here to go up and down with the reverse polarity. Now, problem with the battery is it only comes one direction. So if I just were to use a remote going one direction, it's either going to only open it or it's going to only close it. So now I run into the problem where I've got to be able to reverse the polarity. So this monstrosity that you see here is actually 4 relays that are necessary to, number 1, activate this thing when I use the remote, and then number 2, the second set of relay packs is to reverse the polarity. So first, let me show you what it is we're currently working with here in our chicken coop. So right now, like I said, we just have a rope coming down to a pulley up here, which goes through some chicken wire here that separates our storage area from the actual chicken area. And then the rope comes down to a second pulley and then goes down to our door, which is just in 2 tracks that keeps it going down in the proper direction. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be installing that window actuator right here so that it will do the job of lowering and raising the chicken coop door. Probably going to need to put a little bit of lubricant, either some wax or a little bit of vegetable oil on these wheels, because after 8 years, things have gotten a little worn. That's right, we've been doing it this way for 8 years. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that I'm lazy because I'm doing this. Just looking for some ways to save a little bit of time when it comes to doing chores here on the homestead. So before I get this thing installed, I need to actually figure out which way is going to be up and which way is going to be down. So I want to make sure that on my remote here, that channel A is going to be open and channel B will be closed. So we're going to go ahead and connect our wire leads to the battery here. Now, I don't have a fuse installed on this yet. because right now this is just kind of a proof of concept. Once we get everything completely installed, then we'll be worrying a little bit more about the fuse. So get this wired up here. Get the relay pack over here. Now, so I've got to see which way it goes when I press A, so that I know which way to orient the motor here. So A, all right, it's already there. B, that's closed. Actually, the way I have it oriented here is the way I'm going to want to put it in the coop, because A is going to bring this carrier down, which is going to pull the rope, which will open the coop. A, and then B is going to push the rope back up, allow the door to fall. So this is the orientation that I want to have when I install it in the coop. So now that I've got the proper orientation, I'm going to go ahead and mount my window actuator, the two 2x4s that will mount to the wall in the chicken coop. All right, so this is about where we're going to have the actuator mounted. I want to pull almost as straight as possible, so I'm going to orient the boards here in a way to make sure that this thing is straight. It's not going anywhere. It's all mounted up. Let's give it a test run. All right, A to open. B to close. All right, it's working. Now it's time to get the rope connected and see if we can make this sucker pull. All right, rope is tied up. Let's give it a shot. A. Woohoo! And B. Yes, it works! All right, so let me give you guys a view from the inside of what the chickens are going to see about how it is working. So the chickens are really not happy with me at the moment because I've got about 6 of them trapped in here with me in the chicken coop. So they're all kind of freaking out with the fact that this is being open and closed during the day. But, you know, as you can see, we've got just a pretty basic system here. But watch this. A. Oh, B, oh. Now the other thing I need to do is I need to put a stop on here. Or I might even put an indicator light outside so that we know when it has reached full open. Because there's a little bit of a limited pull on this. Or I'm going to have to tighten up this rope just a little bit. But tell you what, I'm pretty stinking excited. Now it's time to do a range test. Okay, so we're not that far away. We're only about 10 feet away from the coop. I just want to show you how cool this is, that it works from the outside. All right, let me zoom in here a little bit. All right, so there's the chicken coop door and pressing button A. Pressing button B to close. Oh yeah, buddy, I am so excited. All right, let's take it about 30 feet away, see if we can get it to work. Chickens are really getting mad at me now because I keep playing. All right, let's see what we can get here. All right, we're about 30 feet away. All right, let me zoom in so you guys can see what's going on here. So I can see what's going on here. All right, ready? And A. Oh, it worked at 30 feet. B to close. All right, final test. Time to do it from inside the house. All right, so I'm inside the house on the back porch. This is where we can see what's going on with the chicken coop morning and night. Now it's time to give it the full distance try. We are right at about 100 feet from the house, from here to the chicken coop. Let's see if this works. It's kind of hard for me to zoom in for you guys because there's just, you know, the screen on the back porch. It keeps wanting to focus on that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit it and see what happens. Yeah, baby! No more going out in the cold weather to open and close the chicken coop. Yes! Woo! I am so stoked. This is 100% win in my book. So let me just break down the money that I have invested in this. The battery was about $11. Scrap price is what I paid for it, because that is what the scrapyard paid for it also. The window regulator, I paid weight prices for it, so it was right at about 48 cents for it. The relays were stuff that I had from projects a while ago, but those can be bought on Amazon for about $1.50 a piece. And the wireless remote control kit was at total $13.99, and link to the remote control is going to be in the description, so if you're curious about it, check it out. I will have a wiring diagram. I'll put on my Facebook page, so check out Facebook, Independence Acres Homestead on Facebook. There'll be a wiring diagram on there for you, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, God bless. Time for me to stay warm at night. No more going out to close up the chicken coop.